Welcome everybody, and a Happy New Year to you all. I think the last time we spoke was I was standing just in front of a Christmas tree, and we were off for our holiday Christmas break, and my thoughts are with everybody over the Christmas period who was without power, because I went for nearly 5 days without electricity as well, right over Christmas holiday time. So it was memorable, but for all the wrong reasons. Anyway, here we are back in the office again. It's the new year and the start of a very busy year, and what's going to be quite an important year in Sussex Police, because I've just come back from the Police and Crime Panel meeting. Now, the panel are a group of local councillors taken from district and borough councils and the 3 top-tier authorities, and their job is to scrutinise my decisions. And one of the things they have to do is they agree with my proposal around the police precept. The police precept is the part of your council tax that you pay that goes towards paying for policing across Sussex. And it's my job to set that precept. Now, for the last 4 years, and including my first year in office, the precept has been frozen. So people in Sussex have paid the same amount for policing over the last 4 years. And currently, Sussex, as a police force, pays the lowest amount out of all the shire counties, and the lowest amount for policing, the 4th lowest in the whole country. So it's quite a lean machine in Sussex at the moment. This morning I broke with tradition, if you like, and asked the panel if they'd be prepared to agree to an increase in the police precept. Now, what that means, if you pay council tax and you pay a band D, it would mean an increase of £4.95 for the year. So you'd pay that £4.95 per household per year. Now, before I went to the panel, I asked the public, because you're the ones that are the taxpayers, and it's really important that I understand how you feel about it. And 67% of those that responded to our survey online said that they were supportive. Now, armed with this information, I asked the panel this morning what their views were on it, and the majority of them actually agreed and voted it through. Of course, we're now in the position where I've got to wait for the Secretary of State to decide whether or not we can do this. And hopefully he will make that decision fairly swiftly, and then we can move forwards. But that extra money that I've asked for will allow Sussex Police to spend and invest in some quite important areas. One of them will cover cybercrime. And for local people, cybercrime has been a really important issue, and certainly fills a lot of my postbag here in the office. And that's about theft and fraud that traditionally has always happened, but now is happening increasingly online. And it's about cyberbullying as well. And how are Sussex Police tackling that? Another area of the investment will look at serious and sexual offences. And this includes rape, this includes child sexual exploitation and human trafficking, as well as domestic abuse. And Sussex Police are looking to invest much more heavily in this. The British Crime Survey that's recently come out shows that nationally across England and Wales, the increase in referrals of child sexual exploitation cases has gone up by 17%. Now, locally in Sussex, the increase in referrals has gone up by nearly 60%. So it's really important that Sussex Police address these areas and give a better service to victims of what is a terrible crime at a time when they are incredibly vulnerable. And it also is about improving public confidence, because if victims are more likely to come forwards, it means that they feel more confident that they're going to get their worries addressed properly by the police and by partner organisations as well. So that's where I've been this morning. Quite an important meeting for me. The biggest meeting I have to do all year with the panel, because this is also about setting the budget for policing over the coming year as well. And I think on the whole it went quite well. The panel, as ever, were quite intrusive, quite challenging, as you'd expect. And you can view it all online because the whole thing is webcast as well. Now, I want to tell you about how far we've gone with our youth commission that I'm trying to set up. The applications for it have now closed, and I've been looking for young people across Sussex to apply between the ages of 14 and 25, and getting a group of 25 of them together to help inform the police and crime plan. This is important because a lot of these young people, they are affected by the police, They're often more likely to be victims of crime as well as they are to be offenders. So it's important that their voice is heard, and a lot of them can't vote until they get to the age of 18. And yet policing priorities really affect them firsthand. So what I'm doing is setting up a youth commission with a group of these young people to help me understand what matters to them. I'm really excited because applications have now closed and we've had huge numbers of applications. So many, in fact, that we think we might even increase the number of the commission from 25 to 30 young people, because there's such a wide variety taken from all the communities across Sussex, and I'm really excited. Our first meeting with them is on the 1st of February. I will be there with them to meet them all then, and I'm really, really looking forward to meeting them all, hearing what they've got to say, and working with them over the next few weeks to help inform the police and crime plan in Sussex. So I'll get back to you and let you know how it goes. Here I am in the middle of the office. You can see everybody beavering away behind me, which is really good for a Friday afternoon. Just to update you on the latest recruits, because we opened recruitment in Sussex Police last year for the first time in 3.5 years. And we've recruited 80 new police officers and 120 special constables. These are volunteers. And I've joined the first cohort, and I'm joining their training sessions, not every single one, but I drop in from time to time. And I was very pleased last weekend to join 40 specials and 40 regulars on one of their in-house training days. So it was in the classroom, and we were learning about stop and search powers, and there were some very interesting discussions around the use of body-worn video. You may have seen that come up quite a lot recently in the press, and the pros and cons of it, and the officers, or the young officers, trainees, understanding the good side for them because it protects them, but also the important side for victims and members of the public, because you've got a clear evidence base there by using the video. It was quite a fun time, and for me I think it was meeting the specials, because as volunteers they have full-time roles, and so they work during the day and then they volunteer their time at night or at weekends to help Sussex Police, and understanding where they're coming from as well, what sort of roles they have. So I chatted with one who is a firefighter, female, a couple of chefs. Some of the young guys were chefs, so that was quite good, and people perked up to think that they might be out in stations and they'd be able to do good fry-ups. A couple of engineers and people from really across the board, and different ages as well. Some young, some older like me, and a real mix, and they're going to bring such a diversity to Sussex Police once they're trained. So perhaps next time you can join me and we can meet some of them while they're in their training. But I think next time we meet, what would be quite fun would be to see inside the Chief Constable's office and see Malling House itself, which is police headquarters, and we'll see what we can do and take you perhaps for a sneak peek inside there as well. So I look forward to seeing you next time, and thanks for joining me.